Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. 54-year-old former undisputed heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson has revealed that during the height of his fame, he used a fake penis and relied on urine from family members in order to pass doping tests. This is what Iron Mike has been saying. It was awesome, man. I put my baby's urine in it. And sometimes one time I was using my wife and my wife was like, baby, you better not hope it comes back pregnant or something. Well, at age 20, Mike Tyson became the youngest ever world heavyweight boxing champion after beating Jamaican Trevor Berbick to take the World Boxing Council belt on November 22, 1986. What do we make of Tyson's revelation?
Revelation? You mean his honesty? Like finally coming clean and telling people what he did? For me, I don't like cheaters. I don't like liars. So for him coming now to the forefront and saying what he did, I feel like it takes away some respect from his name, because I feel even as a fan of boxing or watching boxing, it makes you feel as if you were supporting or you were in love with a boxer that was lying to you all along. So for me, that's heartbreaking.
What were the drugs though? Did he say what the drugs were? Because I think a lot of drugs that Mike Tyson would have used weren't necessarily performance enhancing drugs.
I read something about cocaine and marijuana and...
Yeah, but wouldn't those take away from his performance as opposed to enhancing it? I'm just saying, based on what you're saying, you're suggesting that he was dishonest in a way that he was probably doing something to help his career and hiding it from the authorities. But we know Tyson's history, and I think that many of the drugs that Tyson would have used would have more impeded than enhanced his performance.
And it's funny you say that, Lance, because yes, they based on what is in the open, Tyson, a party animal, dining with Michael Jordan and frightening Jordan over the Robin Givens issue. We all know that he was a party animal. So it was a recreational drugs, the LSD that he used to pop, the cocaine that he used to snort, and the alcohol that he used to drink in bucket loads. That was what was in his system. In the same way that you would say that Diego Maradona poisoned his own career by taking cocaine, nobody holds the fact that, nobody will hold against Mike Tyson the fact that he used recreational drugs, but some of those same people will give Tyson a pass because they love boxing, will not give Maradona a pass because Maradona, was someone who used things to inhibit his performance on the field rather than make it more expansive. So yeah, Tyson falls under that bracket. I want to ask though, what do you find of the fake penis issue? Because that was the part that caught my eye.
Well, I looked at a video from the BBC that showed you how it was done, and I was just amazed because apparently when he was doing the testing, so what were you going to ask me, Lance?
I would like you to be more explicit in because you said you saw.
That's what he was going to say, I feel. No, based on the video, like they actually showed you, like they took it out of the box and they were showing you.
Took what out of the box?
Y'all see what Lance is doing, right? The fake body part. The penis, they took it out of the box,
yes.
And they were showing you like how he was able to put it on. And I think based on the interview that I was listening to, the people doing the test and whatnot would turn away because they don't want to see you, and then he would just do it. Yeah. Lance, any more questions for me?
No, I'm fine. No, so it was a very expansive process from the boxer's standpoint to trick the people doing the test.
It was well thought. I just have to say it was well thought, because even the fact that the wife would say, well, babe, what if they do the test and you're pregnant? So now let's use our baby's urine. I think it was well thought about.
But given what George and I just said, would you want to take back some of what you said though about Tyson?
No, you lied to me, you lied. That's it, we're done.
The practice of using the fake penis to give a urine sample popularized on the Tour de France circuit in the 1980s. There was a book published in 1999 from a masseur who had worked with, up to that point, about 500 Tour de France cyclists, and he was asked, I think he wrote in the book, how many of them used the fake urine, fake penis method to pass drug tests. And he said, of the 500 I worked on, maybe on my hands I could use or maybe my toes if I'm being generous, hands and toes, the number of cyclists who did not. And you're talking about some of the biggest names in cycling at the time. And it was very elaborate. It involved a condom, a rubber tube, placing the urine, the clean urine in the rubber tube and the condom and getting and capping it, plugging it. Then the cyclist would put, this is a children's show and what I have to say, they'd put that part into the anus to keep it warm, to keep it, to give it up, because if after the urine sample has been deposited in the cup and the doctor took it and it felt cold or it was cold,
you would suspect that something is wrong.
It would an alarm bell. So you kept it there. So what would happen? You attach it into the clothes, put it in that space and have the tube. When the doctor turned away, gave you the cup, you unplugged the block, filled it, doctor would take it, it would be warm, close it, that's the urine sample. He said that he lost count the number of cyclists.
So what about discomfort, George? If they're keeping the contraption up their anus, wouldn't that be some level of discomfort?
Excellent question. He wrote in the book that process was not for the squeamish. He said that most cyclists who did it for the first time were very petrified and complained of the discomfort. But after a while, they got used to it, he said. So it was very popular, it was popularized in cycling, and I guess someone told Tyson about that method, and he did something of the sort to get his tests come back clean. Yeah, well, what about Calypso cricket? We have some fascinating action for you in cricket. Shiv Chandapal starring in this episode, along with one Marlon Nathaniel Samuels, man of the match performance. I think he had 2 scores of 90 in this game. Didn't quite crack 3 figures, but this is the game that's coming up on SportsMax later on this Monday.